In 1837, a man named Hong Xiuquan suffered a total mental collapse. He had failed the grueling imperial examinations for the third time, a failure that didn't just end his career, it broke his mind. During a 40-day fever, Hong claimed he was pulled from this world and taken to a palace of light. There, he met a golden father and a heavenly elder brother. They told him he was divine. They gave him a sword to slay the demons occupying China. When Hong finally woke, he wasn't just a failed student anymore. He was convinced with a terrifying certainty that he was the younger brother of Jesus Christ. He believed he was sent to cleanse the earth and establish a heavenly kingdom. To understand why millions followed a man who claimed to be a deity, you have to understand the misery of the era. This was a China broken by the Opium Wars. The British Empire had forced the nation to legalize addiction to balance their own trade deficits. The economy was in freefall, and the ruling Qing dynasty was seen as weak, corrupt, and foreign because they were Manchus, not ethnic Han Chinese. The ancient mandate of heaven was crumbling. When Hong arrived, he didn't just offer a new religion, he offered a rebellion against everyone who had failed the people, both the British merchants and the Manchu emperors. It was a perfect storm of colonial trauma and spiritual desperation. By 1850, Hong's followers, the God worshippers, became an organized army. They cut off their queues, the braided hair required by the emperor, which was an act of treason punishable by death. They were the desperate and the forgotten, miners, peasants, and outcasts. Their momentum was unstoppable. In 1853, they captured Nanjing, the ancient heart of China. Hong renamed it Tianjing, the heavenly capital. He was no longer a student or a cult leader. He was the heavenly king of a state that occupied a third of China. A regime that promised a new world had finally arrived. Life inside the heavenly kingdom was a bizarre social experiment. Hong abolished foot binding and gave women the right to serve in the military, revolutionary for the 1850s. But the cost was total control. To maintain purity, Hong ordered the total separation of the sexes. Husbands and wives were forbidden from even speaking to one another under penalty of death. Yet, while the commoners lived in celibate barracks eating meager rations, the heavenly king retreated into a palace of nearly 3,000 concubines. The great peace he promised was built on a foundation of lethal hypocrisy and cult-like devotion. As the kingdom grew, it became a threat to global trade. Sensing that a radical Christian cult was bad for business, the Western powers, Britain and France, intervened. They didn't support their Christian brother Hong, they supported the Qing dynasty. They helped form the ever-victorious army, led by the legendary Charles Chinese Gordon. While the American Civil War was captivating the West, a far more brutal conflict was being fought here. It was a war of steamships against wooden junks and modern rifles against ancient spears. The heavenly kingdom was being squeezed from all sides. In 1864, Nanjing fell. The siege was a nightmare of starvation and fire. Hong died just before the end. Some say of illness, others say he took his own life. His body was found wrapped in yellow silk in a sewer. The Qing troops took no prisoners, slaughtering 100,000 people in Nanjing in just 3 days. The Taiping Rebellion remains the deadliest civil war in human history, with a death toll reaching 20 million. A regime that promised heaven ended by delivering an apocalypse. History forgets the losers, but it can never ignore the blood they left behind. I'm Forgotten Regimes. If you want to see the history the textbooks hide, subscribe.